8 of the commandments and ignore, or 7 of the commandments and ignore 3 of them.
Right.
Okay, so Susie Q is all in your face. You're crazy. You're blah blah blah. That makes no sense.
Right.
That's in your face. But only Yah knows what's going to happen with Susie Q.
Right.
I don't know what's going to happen with Susie Q. She might become the best servant
right
of all, better than me.
Right.
Shared Yah with her.
That's
right?
correct. Yeah.
Okay, but Yah knows.
Yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, Yahshua was with the disciples. They said, "Hey, it's tax time. We gotta go. We gotta pay those taxes." Okay. We already looked at the scriptures that said that the author of confusion that is the God of this world.
Right.
Okay. So that thing, that the adversary has developed a whole system that we don't even look at. We don't even think about it. Somebody made up this idea that a piece of paper represents something of value.
Right.
And
Right.
and we're all bought into it because we have to to keep a roof over your head, feed your kids.
Right.
And
That's
so
correct.
on.
Yep. We worship it. Yep.
So you have to participate, though.
Right.
All right. Where am I going with this? Okay. So these are all the little ends. Okay. So Satan has created this system. Yahshua said, you have to give Caesar what's due to Caesar, right? You got. I mean, that's just a part of society we live in, and you got to do that.
Right.
But whatever you need, if you're in relationship with Yah, and you know Yahshua is in relationship with Yah, right? The Father. Whatever you need, you know that Yah is going to provide it.
Right.
You're not wondering, you're not guessing, you're not hoping. You know.
Right.
And he just said, pick up that fish over there, out of the water, just living, swimming around fish, and he pulled the coins out enough to pay the tax.
Pay the tax. Right.
Right. Okay. Susie Q. You've shared this word with her. I forgot where I was going. Oh my goodness.
You were still talking about being blessed, about the whole dynamic.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So, Susie Q, may be blessed in the future, and you don't even know it. And that's not for us to know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because whatever's going on between her and Yah is between her and Yah.
True that.
And our job was to present it to her.
Plant that seed.
And that, as long as we're doing that, that's between us and Yah.
Right.
So these blessings,
That's true.
you know what I'm saying? These blessings, we don't know if it's Yah going to bless somebody, or if that person never turns to Yah and continues to build relationship with the enemy. We don't know.
Yeah.
We're not the ones to know that.
Okay. Yep. Right.
But
That's
isn't
true. That.
the name of God pretty much the God of fortune?
Which one is that?
God, or is it Lord? It's God of fortune.
Okay, that's.
And so therefore we're calling on that God of fortune, and therefore He's blessing whoever He
Right.
blesses.
True
He's
that.
the God of fortune.
True that. True that.
That's that new year.
Yep.
What about Matthew 5:45?
Matthew 5. Matthew 5:45. Wow. Oh. Is that the be perfect? Right before be perfect. That's 5:48.
Yeah.
5:45.
45.
I asked that question also because God openly spoke to me in my house and told me that He has great blessings for me.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not, I'm not saying that because I believe it's just for myself. God is no respecter of persons. So if you believe God to be able to bless you in that extent, you only have what you can believe him for. If you do not believe him for it, then he's not going to operate on that behalf for you. If you can believe him to be the provider, to give you more than enough, he died on the cross and he lives again to give us these things. It doesn't stop and start here with just this. God, our salvation comes with benefits. It's in the Word. So what are the benefits? Everything. Health, well-being, all of those things, whatever those curses were, if you have been born again and you have accepted Yeshua as your personal Savior, you no longer fall underneath that curse. You are walking in a new life and you have privilege to all of those benefits. So that's where I'm coming from, because he clearly told me that. So, and like I said, he's no respecter of persons.
Right. No, I don't negate that at all. But I just know that collectively as a people, what the scriptures speak about.
It's only those that have been born again, Father paid for by his blood, asked him for their forgiveness and remission of their sins, that do not fall underneath that curse. Anybody else outside of that, Jew, Gentile, or anything else, fall underneath that same curse.
Well, how I look at it is this. I do see where Isaac was the chosen child, and he was blessed for it. He had the birthright. But the father did tell Hagar, don't trip, I'm going to bless him too. Even though he wasn't the chosen one, he still received the blessing. Whether or not that blessing was for Ishmael's good or bad, the Most High didn't say. He just said, I'm going to bless him too. He's going to be mighty. There's going to be how many princes come out of him?
He didn't give no criteria to it.
He didn't give him, that's it.
And because he wasn't part of the covenant, that's why he didn't give no criteria.
But he was blessed.
Same thing with Esau. You're going to either do in the
He was
field.
blessed because of the seed in which he came from. The seed that he came from.
But everybody on earth is blessed
That's
through
true,
that seed too. Everybody, not just, everybody's blessed because of Abraham.
That's why I gave you Mark 5:45.
Oh, Mark. I'm sorry.
Matthew
You
5.
said.
I guess I'm going into the not in the Old Testament, but I'm talking about the New Testament and where we are right now. And that's him coming back to redeem his people, the church.
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
And where we stand today.
Right.
Matthew 5:45.
Matthew 5:45 says, that you may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. Oh no, 44 says, but I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that you may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he make his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and send the rain on the just and on the unjust. Hallelujah. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what he do. Show up.
And all things work together for the good and the love of Yah. So Yah will bless, as he will allow the blessing, whether it comes from Satan or whether it comes to whoever, the wicked for his purposes. Because like in our case, the Most High took the riches from Israel and gave it to the Gentiles.
Gave it to them. Yep. Wait, that was it, y'all. That was a little bit that I had to share today. So guys, thank you for the reading of His word. Yeshua's name. Hallelujah. Continue to bless this Passover. Days of unleavened bread we have to be keeping.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Okay. Good. All right. What y'all doing? Pat, what you got? I can see for the evening.
The ladies got something to say?
Just like you said, you're dealing with a lot of issues and stuff like this. This is for you.
Oh, wow.
This is
Look at that. Look at that.
vitamins and stuff
Look
like
at
that.
that.
This is omega-3.
Look at that. Ain't that
Advanced
something?
omega. So you take this.
That's man.
I think you can take in the afternoon for about
Look at that.
a couple days and then break it down to 3. So
That's how the Father
one
functions.
pack
Just
a day.
like that. Oh, man, look at that.
That for your high blood?
Huh?
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
giving him vitamins and stuff back in his body, because
Uh-huh.
somewhere he's deficient
Yeah.
also, and that's what's causing all that issue.
Thank you so much, Sister Pat.
You a nutritionist?
Yeah, I'm a holistic health coach. I was gonna do a talk after y'all, but it's 6:30, and you were supposed to be over at 6, but I told Pat we'll do it on a Zoom or something one night.
Okay.
'Cause I gotta get home to my daughter.
Oh, okay, okay. Awesome seeing you again.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Oh. I better have one of them things in
No, you
here.
didn't say you better have
I best to have one of them.
You should have pulled my coat tail. I didn't mean to take up so much time. I said you should have pulled my coat tail. I didn't mean to take up so much time.
You know what, to me, the word today, even though people want to know about health, what we learned today kind of trumps what I was going to do.
Do you sell
So,
this?
no, I sell those.
You sell this? Are you online?
Yeah, I'll send the link to him.
If I order some.
Okay. Yeah.
You have a website?
That's all, yeah, that's what I want.
I'll give it to Pat and she'll send it out to everybody.
Yes, please.
As a matter of fact, I think.
I would say, you want
before I
a
leave-
card? Yeah, you want a card?
Oh, yeah. And you know what, though? I'm gonna have to send you an updated version of this.
I think you did.
Huh?
You did. I got 2 versions.
Oh, you got of this?
The electronic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the electronic version is a little bit more updated than this.
Oh, yeah.
Cause that
So
was
you
something.
sent me one and then you sent a revised.
Right, the revised one, yeah. I had a few grammatical errors that I wasn't proud of in this, but I'm glad to see it, yeah.
I mean, because everything he talked about, I was going to talk about it. That's why I looked at Pat and I said, you need to shut up.
You stepping all in what I'm gonna teach. Yeah.
Is this a jump rope?
Yeah. Okay, so one thing I wanted to talk about today while we're together, because we don't get together often enough, in my opinion. So it's so nice to see everybody, and see each other, and spend some time together. But we were talking about how, if you look at the major life-threatening and debilitating diseases, and we've named them here. Let's name them again. Let's look at the top 4 things that will leave a person. Forgive me. Things that will leave a person ailing and sick in their bed and not fully functioning. Okay.
She'll be fussing at me when I get home.
Okay. So while I'm pulling this up, I'm gonna go ahead and let me just tell you what's in. Let me just tell you what's in the bag. Okay. So, most of what we deal with those life-threatening diseases, Deuteronomy 28 tells us that we would deal with inflammation, okay?
Right.
And so, yeah. Well, the diseases that we named together here, diabetes, heart disease, heart attack, stroke, Alzheimer's, cancer, thyroid problems, all of those things come from inflammation. So when the Bible said inflammation, is including all those diseases. And the major cause of us building that kind of inflammation in our bodies is built on stress. All right? Stress
So enough.
kills.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Right.
There's stress in good things, and there's stress in difficult situations. And so,
How you know the difference? How you know the difference between whether it's stress or whether it's anxiety?
okay, so anxiety gets into how you view or you perceive the stress,
Okay.
So here's the thing. If we could learn, first of all, just being black in America is stressful in itself. So that's why it hits us more. You know, the word tells us why we did it, you know, why we're going through it. But
Is there what is territorial presentation of food chocolate?
yeah. Okay. All right. I was just. You're right.
Sorry.
You're right. Here, let me pull it back so everybody can see.
Okay.
Instead of me trying to rush through it.
I'm gonna breeze through this real quick, so I apologize. But that little woman is burning my phone off the hook since 6 o'clock. But basically, like she said, and I think one of you guys hit on the scripture today, talking about, behold, I've given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree, and the which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. So if we eating something that doesn't have the seed in it, it's not real food. So we have to give it up. But what I also thought about was everything that God created has a vibration. It has an energy to it, and it's alive. You know, so therefore, whatever we eat needs to have energy in it. It needs to have a vibration to it, and it needs to be alive. Therefore, he talks about the clean food and the unclean food. The clean food, when he's talking about the animals that have what is the cloven hoof, those animals are ruminating animals. Therefore, they eat grass. They don't eat dead meat. That dead meat, that grass that they're eating is clean food. It's alive food to them. I went through a course called Living Foods Institute, and that's all we talked about was food that was alive, food that was living, food that had a vibration to it, food that had an energy to it, that fed your body. But it says, Yah knows what's best for our bodies because he made us, and consider the principles or an operation manual. If you buy a car, you got an operation manual. If you buy any type of device, you have an instruction manual. You know, his instruction manual is that word for us and what we should eat. I got it. But this is the thing that really got me the most, because I thought about it one day, and I was like, what is the chemical composition of man compared to the soil that he took us from?
Good point.
Main elements that make up the human body: oxygen, hydrogen, calcium, potassium, sodium, magnesium, carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, and chlorine. It's in different things, oxygen being the most, and then it goes down from there. The trace elements in our body are boron, chromium, cobalt, copper, fluorine, iodine, iron, manganese, whatever that other word is, selenium, silicon, tin, vanadium, and zinc. Guess what the chemical elements of soil is?
Same thing.
The same thing. So it said plants require 16 essential elements for normal growth. That's carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Those make up the top 4. There are 5 more macronutrients, which are phosphorus, sulfur, calcium, potassium, magnesium, and then 7 micronutrients or trace elements, which are the boron, the copper, the iron, manganese, molybdenum, whatever it is, zinc, and chlorine. That's why we got to eat what's grown from the soil.
Right.
Because what we're eating is supposed to feed us. And if we're not eating the things that he created and that we grow from the soil, that we grow on our own to feed us, and we're eating dead things like burgers and fries and all that stuff, which I'm guilty of, you know. I
Right.
take too, like everybody else, I take too. But I feel bad afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a whole list of things that your body goes through with each one of those. If you're low in magnesium, what happens to you? You get heart palpitations.
And that's the thyroid.
I got a question.
It's manganese and iodine.
Exactly. So you're probably deficient in it.
Yeah.
And what they do, what doctors do, instead of addressing the nutrition part of it, they put you in medicine. Or they take it out. You know, I had fibroid surgeries 3 times. I have a friend that's a herbalist that's created a tonic that she gives to women. They actually pass them. You don't have to have surgery at all.
Shut
Oh,
up.
wow. Oh, the question I got is,
Okay.
can you expound just a little bit on the difference between or where the GMOs come from?
GMOs? Their whole premise of GMOs is creating more food because we have such a large population of people. So we're going to go over here and we're going to take the genetic makeup of a spider and we're going to connect it with this and give you an apple.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what GMOs are, genetically modified foods.
I'm saying, but with the animals, with insects?
Anything they can find.
Get out of here.
So they get to make food. It's fake
So
food.
like a seedless grape would be something like that.
Yeah.
or seedless orange, or what about
Anything that's
bananas?
seedless.
Would you consider bananas GMOs?
That's hard for me, because I don't know. I really don't know. How would you tell if a banana is GMO?
Where's the seed at? In it?
Right. Does a banana have seeds? Right. So
They
how would
used
we
to.
tell?
They
They
used
used to?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they used to have
bananas
little
have
black
seeds.
seeds.
If you go down in
Yeah,
Honduras,
you're right.
used to have
You're
the
right.
black
The little black ones.
that's
are-
right. Absolutely.
You're
So
right,
the ones
in
that
the
we
middle.
eat, the ones
Don't
we
have them.
They're
don't have the
genetically
seeds, so they're
modified.
genetically
They took them
modified.
out because they said
Get out
kids
of here.
didn't like them.
Mm-hmm. Papayas that I ate all the time, Hawaiian papayas, majority of the crop was GMO.
So the seed bananas are the ones that are like red or something.
No, they're red.
They're
yellow.
yellow.
They have the black
Black in the
seeds in
middle.
them. When you
The
used to, they used to have those five.
On the top.
Yeah,
One, two, three, four,
Right.
five. Ever since
Yeah,
you was a
yeah,
kid.
yeah.
So-
And
They
you don't
stopped
see
making
them anymore.
They stopped making them.
Okay, my last question on GMO. So does that? So when you eat GMO bananas, does that add to your weight gain?
That's still hard to say.
It's hard to say.
GMO, the whole thing with that is being genetically modified. You're really not getting the nutrients that you're supposed to get anyway. So it could be adding to your weight gain. It could be adding to a whole host of other issues that we have. Just like the crops being sprayed with glyphosate, the Monsanto pesticide and herb and stuff. That is shown through the tests they've done to cause tumors and stuff in animals.
Okay.
We don't know what we're eating. And that's why it's always, you have to make an intentional, conscious effort of what you're putting into your body. And that's when I show people how to go shopping, read labels. You know, read what you're putting in your body. I mean, even if it takes you a little bit longer until you get used to what you're shopping for, take the time to do it, because there's so much fake food out there that we have no clue of what we're eating.
So do you recommend eating bananas?
I like bananas, so I ain't gonna say no. I like them, but it depends on the person. I also show people how to eat according to their blood type.
Gotcha.
My blood type is a blood type O. I can't eat lentils. Lentils bloat me up all day long. My daughter is an A. She would survive better on a mainly vegetarian diet.
Me too. I'm Asian. And that's
So,
exactly what the book says.
right,
too.
so you have to vegetarian
So if
diet.
you're not eating right for your blood type, you can't gain weight.
You can gain weight and cause a whole host of
We have the
issues.
kids, but we haven't took the test yet.
You haven't? That's funny. So we talked about this earlier. The main things, heart disease, high blood pressure, stroke, and it's the #1 killer among us. And it's all because of, like we discussed earlier, being disobedient to Yah and his ways.
How can you tell when the stroke is coming on?
Wow.
This slur.
You got a slur. It's a whole lot of stuff. You
Yeah.
have slurred speech. You kind of forget stuff a little bit more than normal. Yeah, my uncle had my cousin's husband had a stroke. He had it right after, I think I told Pat, I watched him make macaroni and cheese for Christmas one year. And homeboy had the big bags of cheese.
Whoa.
And he dumped it all in. I said, Melvin, don't do that, please. Girl, this is how we make it.
Right.
We love our mac and cheese. And I looked at him.
Right.
But he was already complaining about pains in his legs.
Well, already, yeah. Don't
And I'm
connect it.
like-
Right. You don't connect it.
I
Right.
said, okay, and I shut my mouth.
Right.
The next November, he may have had a major stroke. Never
Yeah.
realized.
And you saw it coming.
Mhm.
He didn't have no
But
sense
see,
but
to
do it,
them,
right.
my family, and like you said, what's the scripture that talks about a prophet is not honored in their own hometown? My family doesn't hear nothing I say.
Right.
Because they know me as the one that, you know, I sit here and I make the little funny jokes about stuff in the comments and I'm laughing, and that's all they see. And when I try to tell them, I told my cousin, Kojic, I said, let me come to your church and talk to the people about health. Yeah, we're going to do that in June, but you go get somebody else.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Your daughter is having issues with her health, but you won't listen to what I say. You know, so, and even my own daughter has issues with asthma. She won't listen to what her mother says. Stop eating this, and drink more water. Look at this, do this, and do this. We were in the hospital emergency room 3 times last week. #1 for the asthma.
Wow.
The second 2 times because the steroid they gave her, she had an adverse reaction to it.
We have a daughter that has asthma. What do you recommend her not to eat?
Dairy,
No dairies.
no dairy, no ice cream, none of that stuff. No
Cheese.
cheese, none of that stuff. Lots of water,
No fried
milk.
foods. How about fried food?
I wouldn't do that either.
I heard strawberries was also a kicker of asthma too.
It depends on the pesticides on strawberries.
Okay, that's
Yeah, a lot of that
So
stuff,
much
you got the clean 15 and the dirty dozen. So you got to look at what the clean 15 are and what the dirty dozen are. Those are the fruits that the dirty dozen are ones that are highly sprayed. Strawberries, right now they say kale. Apples, a whole bunch of stuff. It's highly sprayed every day. Why? Because there's more stress, especially among us. There's lack of resources in education. Like you said earlier, our people don't want to listen. They don't want to hear what anybody has to say. That when it comes to following y'all's laws or instructions or anything like that, they don't want to hear it. Girl, I've been eating like this all my life, but I'm gonna die from something. Okay, well you go ahead on, because I ain't gonna do it right now.
Right.
You know, our environment, if there's toxicity in the household or wherever they're living, and they have us in all these quote unquote ghettos with all the stuff going on, that stuff is stressful on people every day. Carrying trauma in our DNA. I met a psychologist at the juice bar, because I work at a juice bar, that says that's what she deals with. She started learning that people are carrying trauma in their DNA or in their cells, and they haven't released it. So therefore, they're still dealing with stuff they should have let go years ago, or situations they should have let go years ago.
That's the
It's still
father's
coming
word.
up. It's still coming up.
Forever.
They're still acting out on it.
and you pass it on to children.
And you're passing it on to your children.
Right.
You passing it. My
Right.
father, the two brothers I found out I had, one of the brothers is dealing with alcoholism and all that stuff. That sounds like my dad. Even though Dad wouldn't say he was an alcoholic, he drank a lot. He smoked a lot. So I see the things going on with them.
So I have a question. So for these people who have the trauma in their DNA, what exactly can we do? Because I know it's going to take some time for themselves.
It takes a long time. It takes a long time, because if you, my age, I'm 58. I know the things I've been through in my life, especially when it comes to relationships. It would probably take me the next 10 years to release a lot of that trauma, because it's going to be like a peeling onion. I got to get through this part first, then I got to get through this part first, then I got to get through this part. But the thing is, acknowledging that it's there, and then going through, and also your diet. Once you go back to eating the correct way, the things that Yah has told us to eat, and watching your diet, drinking your water, you begin to detox your body. So that helps a lot, because what we eat affects everything about us. Everything about us. How well you sleep, everything that you do. When I eat the right way that I'm supposed to, it doesn't take me long to go to sleep. And I feel good. I don't get tired and things like that. When I go back to eating,
The hamburgers.
I don't like hamburgers.
Oh, okay.
But when I eat stuff that I know I shouldn't be eating,
Right.
like the breads and stuff, because I love bread, then I notice about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm sitting at my desk like this. Or I get home in the evenings and I'm so tired that I sat there one night and I was eating a salad with my daughter. And the salad was cold. I always know it's cold because my face was in the plate. I could fall asleep. And I'm like, this is too much. But I also know that from my own testimony, I've dealt too much with the stress from what I've allowed people to say to me, that I took it on so much in myself. And I tell you how much I know that it's in my DNA, because I was so super sensitive when I was younger that people would say stuff to me just being flipped, and I would feel it right here in my gut.
Wow.
And I would hold it there, and I would think about it for days, and then I would walk around dejected and torn down, and my heart would be hurting because I was so upset by it. And I know it's still there. I know that different things that even now I have to watch it, because people want me to get real upset and all pepper and stuff, and I need to say, it'll be okay. And they don't understand that, because I can't allow the negative stuff to get to me anymore, because it will affect my heart. My daughter can tell you how many times the paramedics picked me up from my house. And Pat can tell you, because I would tell her, my heart was pounding, because I've let stuff get to me so much. And so that's why this is so important to me for our people. My mom died of a heart attack in her sleep.
Wow.
My dad died of a heart attack, but he had COPD, he had high blood pressure, so did my mom. Different
Were they
things
young?
like that. Daddy was 79, mom was 65. My mom was young. but it's the stress and the trauma of stuff and all the medications. Then I hope you know that the word pharmacy is sorcery.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so we're allowing them to practice their wizardry on us, and nobody asks any questions.
Wow.
We don't question nothing that they're doing. We just take it. So,
With
where
that
do we
stress,
start? Huh?
with that stress, do you think like TV adds to that stress too?
Oh yeah,
Commercials,
all that stuff.
things that you want,
Yes.
things that
All
they
that-
make you feel like you want.
Right, that you gotta have. Oh, I gotta have that. And you know what I
The new
found too?
iPhone.
I noticed that a lot of people are into, and there's nothing against it,
Technology.
network marketing. And they all go, I gotta make this $100,000, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I noticed that they're focused. And every time I try to go that way, it's something about it that's just like, I don't do that. I don't do that because I don't want to get caught up that my whole life is that, and I forget who y'all is. I don't want to get caught up. The girl making this money, you know, everything is about money because I'm worshiping money, and I'm not worshiping y'all. So where do we start? Become more mindful of what you're eating on a daily basis. Eat more from home. You know, start cooking your stuff so you know which spices and herbs you're eating, what you're adding to it. You know what you're putting in your food. Increase your water intake. Drinking no water. If you're drinking no water, start with 24 ounces a day. That's why I have this, which obviously you see I ain't done nothing with it today.
Is
But
it reverse osmosis?
no, this actually tells you when to drink the water.
No, I'm saying, is that reverse osmosis?
No, this is alkaline water.
Oh, okay.
But
What-
fill it up in the morning, and every 2 hours you're drinking water.
Okay, what's your opinion in reverse osmosis versus alkaline?
Alkaline? Ugh. I forget what I read about the reverse osmosis because I used to drink that. The alkaline water, you really have to be careful with that one too because our pH should only be around 7.3, 7.5. If we're too alkaline, that can be an issue. But if we're too acidic, that brings on all the diseases. So you got to figure out how to get yourself in balance
Say that
and
again.
maintain.
Say that fast. Say that part again about.
Our body's alkalinity should only be between 7.3 and 7.5. If you're being too alkaline, that can cause issues. But if you're in the negative, under that 7.0 below, that's acidity.
Right.
And that causes issues,
Right.
diseases and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So,
But what kind of problems do you get being too alkaline?
Infection.
Okay.
your body is way out of control.
Yeah.
So to name each problem, I
Yeah.
can't do it right now, but I know what the acidic part is.
Right, exactly.
That's going to be your heart
Right.
diseases as well. It's going to be
All that stuff.
infection. It's going to be
Everything, yeah.
everything because
Yeah.
you're not drinking enough water. Your goal is to get up to at least 100 ounces per day, or at least 50 ounces, but your body weight divided by 2. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you need to drink 50 ounces of water every day. Practice an elimination diet, and that what I mean by
Let me
that
ask you
is
a question real quick,
eliminate
I'm sorry.
one bad food, replace it with something good. So you're not going all in it at one time and then get discouraged and go back to eating.
When I flavor this water, does it negate the power of the water itself?
Depends on what you're flavoring it with.
Okay. So what can I flavor it with that it wouldn't negate it?
Lemon, right?
You can put lemon in it,
Okay.
cucumbers,
Right.
and any type of fruit infused.
Okay.
Put strawberries in it, you can put cucumbers in it. At the store, we do lemon, cucumber, and we put mint in it.
Mint, oh, okay.
How
Mint
about
leaves
pineapples?
in it. You can do pineapples in it too.
Now pineapples, because the shell on that's a little bit harder. There's a little, this tad bit better, but they're sweet. So if you're diabetic, they're real sweet. Or are they better for you than like the apple? Because the apple has a softer, so it absorbs some of that GMO a little bit more than the pineapple.
Pineapple has a lot of acid.
No, I'm talking about the spraying stuff. It would affect the apple more than it would the pineapple. because
The pineapple, you can cut the shell
Yeah,
off
cut
of
the
it.
shell off.
The apple, you really gotta make sure you're washing and cleaning it well.
Okay.
And even then, you don't know how much has gotten into that apple because that skin is so thin.
In Florida.
I have a lady that I was trained by a couple of years ago, and if she was here today, the first question out of her mouth to you is, how many times a day do you poop? That's the first question out of her mouth to you every day. How many times a day did you poop? None?
Many times.
Okay, we got some problems.
Wow.
Every time you're eating, you should go.
Just like a baby, right?
Just like a baby. Now, it's not gonna work that way for everyone, but you gotta do it at least 2 or 3 times a day. If you get to the point where you see you've only not pooping but once a day, every other day, you gotta do something about that because you're holding the toxins in your body.
Is that-
And it's just gonna start affecting you.
Is that probably lack of water?
Lack of water. Most people, the majority of the people are dehydrated, whether they know it or not, because we don't drink enough water. We love it. My basic issue, and I'll tell you all my stuff, I love sweet tea. I love it. You know, I don't like it when it's really sweet, but I love sweet tea. But
Right.
the black tea dehydrates you.
Okay.
It pulls the fluid out of your body. So for me, I should be drinking more stuff like green teas, but I don't like the taste of green tea.
Right.
So does dehydration make you feel like you're hungry? I heard
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Make you feel like you're
I heard
hungry.
that too.
It can make you feel dizzy. For my daughter, it gave her a really bad headache.
That's why-
Anything like that. If you feel hungry and you know you just ate 2 hours before,
Drink some
you're
water.
basically dehydrated. You need some water.
What is that, does that have any also effect when I heard something about grounding?
Grounding pretty much is when you go outside, you stand on the ground. You know, the earth has electrical
yeah.
charges to it.
Yeah.
So when you stand outside, like on the beach or something, and you're barefoot, you're gaining all that energy from the earth.
Okay.
You know, the earth is magnetic. So you got all that stuff and it goes into your body. And if you look online at how people look when they do that imaging, after they've been grounded, you see how much better the blood is flowing through their body
Okay.
and different things. But we don't walk barefoot anymore. Why? Because number one, the grass is sprayed with all the pesticides. Or, you know, people just don't want to walk barefoot.
So do you recommend, because somebody was telling us, do you recommend getting like a ground in your
grounding-
bed and stuff like
You
that?
can do that, yeah. Yeah, because that's still gonna have a connection somewhere to the outside. So I would do that.
And that help reduce a lot of the,
What about those shoes? Because I seen a lady one day, she was walking with some flat shoes, but they were meant to feel like you were walking on ground.
With the little toes.
Yeah, the toes of shoes. Because she goes hiking a lot, but she was walking around Walmart with them, and she was like, it feels more comfortable.
They're comfortable.
So would that be a replacement rather than just walking?
Now you need to go somewhere if you know that's okay and just stand on the natural
Even if you
ground.
go to the beach, I used to,
Yeah, go to
because
the
I have
beach.
thyroid problems, I sometimes go and stand in the water because I know that it has that natural kelp and it will draw right through you.
All the negative and positive ions in the air after storms on the beach when the lightning hits the water and all that stuff, it just goes through your body. And it helps to create more health.
What did you say the black tea does?
It dehydration. Yeah. It
so
does.
when you feel like you're hungry, you recommend drink some more water.
Drink some water. Because that's just your
Instead of
thirst
getting that second
mechanism, and you people can't distinguish between am I really hungry or am I thirsty. I don't know, but I think I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat something over here. Seek ways to eliminate stress. You know, however that is, exercising.
Don't drive.
Right, don't drive in Atlanta at 5 o'clock on 285, you get run over by a truck, no. But because we are so deficient in vitamins and minerals, consider supplements, which is some of the stuff I gave to Josiah. And just remember, all supplements are not the same.
Okay.
So what you buy from CVS and all that with CVS and stuff, no, leave that alone.
All right, good.
What is it, Centrum vitamins? They
Right.
don't break down well in the body, all
Okay.
that stuff. There's a friend that we had that did clean up other porta potties, and they would clean them up and still see the whole vitamin still right in there.
Right. I do.
Yeah, so you have to, the bottom just, I'll give you my website, just let me know, and that's probably her again.
So you said you work at a juice bar, right? Now I was juicing a lot way back when.
Yeah.
And I was told that I was juicing too much. Is there such a thing as juicing too much?
It depends on what you're juicing and how much.
I was juicing a lot of greens, a lot of kale and cucumbers and celery, stuff like that.
How much are you drinking? How much are you drinking every day?
I was drinking like breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the most part.
Yeah, I would cut it down.
Yeah, you still have to have breakfast.
Yeah, you still gotta have the fiber. And that's the one thing that we're missing in our diet that is helping people not eliminate. We don't have the fiber in our diets anymore.
So can you get fiber from any fruits and vegetables?
Apples,
Okay.
you can get it from, other than apples.
All kinds of stuff, like the kale.
Kale.
So is there,
Like
so I know where
almost
he's
all
going with
fruits and
this.
vegetables.
So is there a difference between eating it from a rougher state and juicing it? Is there a difference?
Yeah, because the only thing you're getting
Ooh.
in juicing is you are getting the actual juice, the water from that particular fruit or vegetable.
Okay.
If you look at the thing, once all the pulp that's going out,
Uh-huh.
that's all the fiber. Right.
But you
So-
eat all that too, right? That's part of what you
You
eat.
throw it away.
Throw it away.
Oh, you throw that away?
Right, you get the juice.
Oh, I
Take
didn't know that.
And you throw that part away.
Now, is it
I
true
did
that
not
you
know
can take
that.
the pulp? Because I know a friend of mine, she said she used to take
Puree
the
it.
pulp and puree it, make it, you can make
Man.
patties out of it.
Yeah.
and stuff like
Put it
that.
in your.
It's a lot of stuff
Yeah,
you can
but
do with
yeah.
the pulp.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like juicing carrots and you get the pulp out, and people use it to make carrot cake, all that other kind of stuff. So there are different things you can do
Yeah.
with it. You don't have to throw it away.
Yeah.
But the main thing is make sure you're using organic vegetables.
I was about to say.
Now, that's
and
the,
fruit.
now you
Even
said
though it's
education
expensive.
and resources, like a lot of places have food deserts now.
Yeah, they are.
You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah,
No.
you need a
You should.
channel. for real.
Don't start no mess.
Don't start no mess, man.
No, my daughter wants to do one
This is
for me.
education.
So it's, yeah, I mean,
So yeah, she
It's a lot.
wants to, because there's a lot that's there. I also went through what's called the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, and we talked about there are like 100 different modalities when it comes to diet. So what may work as a diet for you may not work as a diet for her. So I can't say, oh yeah, all of y'all need to do the same diet. No,
Right.
because it's going to be different for everybody.
Right.
What helps you break down food may not be good for her. You know, what helps me break down food, man, I went on a fast for about 5 days, 6 days with just water. I was fine, but the other person may not be able to do that. You know, with juicing though, going back to that, you also have to be careful of the certain juices you take if you have an issue with diabetes. Because even though fruit sugars are not that bad, it's still sugar.
Right.
So you got to give your body time to get used to that. What you really don't want is the other sugars that, you know, that processed stuff.
Right.
But fruit sugars you have to be careful if people are dealing with diabetes. So we do talk about that at the store. People come and ask me, if I have diabetes, can I drink this? No, can't have that. I would do more greens. What I recommend to them, we have a juice called Fresh Greens. It has cucumber, celery, parsley, kale, spinach, and lemon in it. Drink that because it's not as sweet. There's a lady that came to the store not too long ago that high blood pressure, Josiah.
Uh-huh.
This is what you can do as well if you can find someone to do it for you.
Do me a favor, hold that thought.
Well, I'll say it anyway.
Nature pause.
This will make nature call too. No. Celery juice. She was on
Celery
4
juice?
different medications for blood pressure.
Celery juice. you said.
Celery juice, and she would come in and we juice her up like 48 ounces of celery juice. Actually, we would do 40, and the other 8 we do in pineapple for her, or we do 44 and do 4 in the pineapple just to give it a little sweetness for her. The doctor took her off for 3 of them. She's on 1, and he has her monitoring her for the next month to see if he can take her off that one, because
Wow.
celery juice does so much in the body to help correct so many things.
How long did it take
I
her?
heard that, yeah.
I heard it helps with anxiety and
Yeah.
depression as well.
It does.
How long did it take her to get down to that? What, a couple of days?
No, probably consistently about a month,
Okay.
month and a half.
So yeah, that was actually my question with anxiety and depression. So besides the exercise and the physical things, what are some of the natural remedies that you can use to help with that?
But
Anxiety and
depression.
depression.
You got to figure out what you're being so anxious about and deal with that, but also your diet. That's a lot, because the biggest thing for me is knowing what you're anxious about and then addressing that issue. And once you can address that and adjust your diet, because like I said before, whatever you eat is going to make that even worse.
Yeah.
So drink lots of water, your vitamins and your minerals. Are you taking any type of vitamin?
Not anymore. I take vitamin C's, and that's because of zincs and vitamin C's. I have low blood, so I have to take iron pills, but I had to take those at a minute.
Okay. Ford is
Who has that? Who carries that?
F-L-O-R,
Is it ML?
F-L-O-R-A-D-I-X. And it's a plant-based,
Celery juice.
Yeah.
it's a plant-based iron. And,
Same
you
place.
just drink it, you
Yeah.
want it doesn't have a bad taste to it, but you drink that.
Is it tincture or is it just like a regular vitamin, like a liquid vitamin?
It's a liquid vitamin. It has vitamins and herbs in it, but I mean iron and herbs or something like that in it. But I had to do it because I had low iron as well. As a matter of fact, my hemoglobin was 6, and they were like, "Can you come get?" No, I don't know whose blood that is, so y'all keep that.
Right.
But,
Right.
and they looked at
But
me
you're
real
old,
crazy.
you can't accept from anybody, not just anybody anyway.
But you know, you take that, drink beets, if you can get beet juice, drink a lot of beet juice.
Super beets. What do you think about super beets?
Yeah.
What is super beet?
I already knew, you know.
They have a
like
commercial. It's like a juice.
California.
It's for the powder.
Is it a powder? Yeah.
I prefer
Stick away from the
actually
solid
take
beets.
it. Right.
How about canned beets?
She got a hand up too.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna chime into the question about anxiety and depression. I feel like a very important thing that also needs to be included.
Talk a little louder.
I'm sorry. I feel like a very important thing that also needs to be included on the list of things that needs to be done is therapy. And that's something that we don't often acknowledge.
Sure don't.
Like within the Black community specifically, there's such a stigma around it, but it does so much.
Therapy,
And it truly can.
physical therapy.
No.
No, mental health counseling.
Oh, cancer. Okay. That's true. I know.
That helps a lot.
Since I've been driving the truck, I have a whole lot of
Find
therapy.
somebody you can trust too, and somebody that's going to give you sound advice, not kind of feel them out. Pretty much, if you want to find somebody, you interview them. You know, you go see, ask the right questions, where their head goes. You know, think about what you want to get from that particular session, and then you go from there. If you want to go with them or not, do you feel like you can trust them with what you have to say? I'll find out some more stuff for you. So you'll pass your info. Okay. Yeah,
How do you
I'll find out some more stuff.
get a person to open up? Speaking on the therapy, because a lot of people don't want to open up because
They don't trust nobody. They don't trust.
Yeah, and in order to get them to open up to therapy, because they wouldn't even go to a therapist because they're angry at the mother, they're angry at the father, they're angry at everybody, and you can see it in them. You know they need some therapy, but they won't go. So how do you get them to open up to heal that stuff? You know what I'm saying?
It's about trust. They've got to find somebody to trust. So at that point, if you at least know where they are, then just talk to them a little bit and just get them to talk to you a little bit. Basically, what I do with people, I watch people a lot, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on with them, and then I wait until the right moment, then I'll go, so what's going on with you? I mean, because that's just me. You know, I noticed this the other day about you. You okay? You know, no, such and such. I'm fine. No, you're not, because I see it in your face. Well, this has happened. I kind of knew that, but why? And then they'll start talking to you a little bit more, and I'll go, oh, okay. I see that. Now I'll leave it alone. And then later on, they'll come back and tell me a little bit more, and I go, really? Well, I was kind of thinking about you the other day, and I could see that, but I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know where you were with that, and I didn't want to overstep my boundaries with you, but have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? And then I tell them what I did. You know, my issue for years was my dad. You know, love him to death. But before then, he was the type of father that really wasn't around for me, that I needed, you know?
Right.
So for years, I dealt with that. I ended up writing him a 5-page letter about how I felt about stuff. Then I wouldn't answer the phone because I didn't want to hear what he had to say about it. But we talked about it. It was fine. But when you deal with that as a young person, it stays there because you see yourself acting it out in so many other ways in all the relationships you get into. It finally got to the point I would share that with people. This is how it made me feel. And girl, let me tell you what I'm going to do with that. You know, I'm silly. with them, you know, but this is what had made me feel, and this is what I had to deal with. And let me tell you what I did when I was in that state, you know, but this is how I came out of it. And I eventually told him, I had to go to a psychologist about it. But I chose the right one because he was referred to me by a person in my church at the time. And so he would listen to me talk. He's the one that told me to write my dad the letter. Because you got to get it out.
Yeah.
After your dad passed away? This is after your dad passed away?
No. This is before he passed away. So my mom's been dead 18 years. So the last 20-some years, well, he's been dead how many years? 5? He's been dead 5 years.
It doesn't seem
5 or
like
6
it's that
years.
long ago.
So right before my mom died, and then after my mom died, he and I were really close. You know, I valued him before then because I always thought about the scriptures that said, honor your mother and your father. But what he did and how he wasn't the father I needed, that hurt. You know, because you would see all the other kids with their dads, or this going on, or the girls with the confidence and stuff, because I had none.
Right.
You know, so I always thought I was the ugliest thing walking. Oh yeah, girl, honey, I had some issues. So when you feel that way about yourself, what do? You go get in relationships that don't mean you no good. The guys treat you like dirt. You know, and then you end up hurt again because I thought this was going to be different. No, it's not. You know, because you keep reliving that stuff over and over again because you haven't released the trauma from what happened here.
So how do you release the trauma when somebody else passed away?
You still just got to write them a letter to release it.
So right, that's good.
Because you're getting it out. Or
Release.
even if you find somebody you can really trust and talk to them and just cry and scream and wail and talk to them like you're talking to that person. Just get it out. Because you hold it in, where is it going? High blood pressure, diabetes. It's going to bring on all kinds of stuff because it's still in your body. And I got to go because this little girl going up.
I was gonna say real quick about the blood pressure. Go ahead, the release blood pressure.
Celery juice.
Okay, right.
Celery juice. You
Okay.
can add a little bit.
Organic.
Yeah, you can add a little bit of pineapple to it to sweeten it.
Yeah.
But celery juice. Just drink when you get up first thing in the morning. Just drink celery juice.
Right.
When you mean celery juice, you mean like juice it or puree
Juice it.
ourselves?
Juice it. Juice it because you want the straight celery juice.
That's good. This stuff, you need that. The Hebrews need that holistic ministry.
Right.
It's necessary.
Yeah, you ought to really consider a video channel, YouTube.
You think so?
Yeah, because you're able to monetize your channel and everything. I mean,
I had thought about that, and my daughter really wants to make me do it. You know what my biggest issue is, you guys, and I ask for your prayers and that, I have a fear of doing stuff.
Really?
I don't have the confidence in myself to do it. I can talk to you guys to do it, but to put myself out there and people, and that came after my mom died. When my mother died, my mom was my biggest cheerleader because I was doing design work there. My background is interior design, and I also have a certification in holistic health coaching. But when my mom passed, it's like everything that I felt moved was stripped from me. I couldn't even put two pieces of fabric together and make a match. It just would not click.
Do you have a video camera?
Mm-hmm.
So practice in front of your camera. That's how Josiah tell you. When I first started doing videos, I was camera shy.
Oh, right.
Remember the first video I did? I looked like I was scared. I really was scared. But
I did one day that talked about fears and stuff like that. But even when I talked about people doing network marketing, I won't do it because I won't pick up the phone and call nobody. I'll go, yeah, I'm gonna do this. I got this together, and I'm gonna do it. And I get home that night and I look at it. Yeah, I ain't doing that. You know, and it's a fear, and I don't understand. I kind of know, but I don't know why the enemy has me to this point where I literally sat on my sofa in November, and I don't know if I shared this with you, but I felt all the weight of everything that I have to do on me, and I cried because I knew I needed to go forward, but I literally felt a force doing this to me, and it was like I couldn't go forward. I couldn't do it. And I said, y'all, what is wrong with me?
Because that information that you just gave is going to hit a lot of
Right,
us.
exactly.
And the
that's
enemy
why-
don't want that out.
That's why he don't want you to speak. And you know what fear is? It's false
Evidence
energy.
appearing real.
That's
No,
right.
false energy.
Yeah.
I got it from you. I've heard false evidence, but from you, energy, false energy, appearing to be real.
Next,
But
that's
you got, you know, the
way
way that I see it is that, you know, is that I always say this all the time, much is given, much is required. So the Father gave you the talent, which is clear that He did, because you are, what's the word, engaging.
Yeah.
You're engaging, whether you
And
know
see, I
it.
never thought that.
But you are. And I mean, we all sit here and we listen to every word you say, you know. Some of y'all falling asleep when I was talking, but that's a whole nother lesson. But,
I've been here since 9 o'clock. Where were you?
right. But I'm just saying, you know, it would be like nothing for you to get that started. If you have a daughter to help you with that, I
Yeah,
think
she's
it'd be a
very good
wonderful
at
thing.
photography. She's very good at videography. She does a lot of stuff. She's always on me about doing it.
Right.
That's your therapy, though, in front of that camera.
Yeah, you're right.
Be
you're right.
be
And I
fearful.
love helping
Look,
people.
be fearful.
And I don't mind helping you. I don't mind
But
helping
look,
y'all.
be
But
fearful
it's
not to
these
do it.
Other little folks around
Do that.
here that be looking at you like, girl, we knew that long time ago. Well, if you knew it, why you did? I'm just saying.
That they're not for you to.
Yeah,
No,
it's for
they're
people
not.
who, like me, who don't know all that.
But I'll get my website and stuff to Pat, and she can pass it out to everybody. Because I really don't remember it right now.
Leave it for the camera, too. Like, I've still got you on the camera. Just give us your website. Go ahead.
I don't know it right now.
You don't know it?
I got it
now
written
she
down.
know it,
I
right?
changed it.
Crap.
Look, my wife do the
That's
same
why I was
thing.
looking, because I'm like, is it HTTP or is it W? I'm going home and look it up.
HTTP don't matter.
It don't matter.
That's what.
It's
Yeah, I know that.
holistichealth.com. That's all we
Right,
need
right,
to know.
No, it's actually a whole, that's another thing she wants to do, because I do need, outside of the website for that company, I need my own that people come to, and to be able to do the things that you guys are encouraging me to do with the videos and all that stuff, and then go forward from there. So that's my goal. Let's see, what is this, April what?
20th.
Don't wait a year, sister.
The end of May.
So Terry, give us one quick question that people can answer for a prize.
Oh.
A gift. I want that word.
Whew.
For a gift. One good question.
I gotta have stuff then.
Ah!
Then hide.
Okay.
We like a sponge, we all sucked it up.
Right. So what is the number one chemical makeup of the human body?
Carbon.
Carbon dioxide.
Oxygen.
You got it, girl.
I paid attention.
Carbon dioxide. You should
Okay,
And
one
those are vitamins for women.
Oh, thank
All
you.
right.
said carbon dioxide.
So,
That's it. That's it. No more questions?
and this
Yeah,
is
that's
You said it was
magnesium.
65%. 65 point something.
This is magnesium, so I'm sorry. What you doing? Wayman's doing. Oh, okay.
Also, it's A
What is
and M.
magnesium good for?
Regulating your heart, your muscles, everything.
Probably what I need.
I can buy these from you off your website.
Does that have
There's
effect?
two different kinds now. I have two different ones.
Okay.
His is a different one than yours.
Well, no, I mean this one because it says A
Does
and
it
B,
help
and that's what I like.
like back pain too?
How much water you drinking? I ain't seen you drink no water.
Nah, I ain't had none of that. I kind of started slacking from drinking my water, but I used to drink a gallon a day.
I'm gonna need you to get back to that, but also stretch. Are you sitting a lot?
Drive truck.
Whenever, and it goes for you too, Josiah, because I see you walking like me half the time. But when you guys are driving a truck, my brother drives a truck, the younger one. Driving a truck, when you guys can get out, you gotta stretch. You gotta stretch, and there are different stretches too that I have that you can do to stretch out that muscle back
Right.
in your back and pull it out.
Stretch and walk.
Because you gotta get moving. But sitting that long, because I can't do drive from here. When I get home, when I get out the car, it's gonna be like this for the first couple of days.
Yeah.
Because it hurts.
Wow.
Let me see. What else? I'll make it easy. How many ounces of water should you drink a day?
Half your body weight. Half your body weight.
You already got just
What?
She got it.
Everybody help look it up for magnesium.
What is that?
It's magnesium.
And what does that do? Like, I know.
Magnesium glycerin.
There are different types of magnesium.
Yeah.
Now, is
That one
that
is more bioavailable to your body.
is that the same thing that has magnesium citrate in it, or is that something different? It's a different magnesium.
It might all be in there.
Magnesium citrate help you to go to the bathroom.
How you say? This
Magnesium
one right here?
citrate.
The one that I think she may have in your bag. I think she may have. But this one, I love it. I take it at night as a tea and go to sleep. And it's really, really good.
Does it have melatonin in it? No.
But it'll help calm you down so you can go to sleep. All right, let me go. My child is really good.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you.